Hello everyone, welcome once again. This is Prince. I hope you are doing well. So today we are going to discuss about Playwright hooks. What are hooks? Hooks are special function in any test automation framework which automatically execute in the test lifecycle depending on which type of hook we are using. They are used to avoid duplicacy. Let us understand the same by this particular example. Suppose we have an automation test case which need some test data to be prepared. So what we can do is we can prepare the test data and we can execute this particular test case using this particular test data, and at last we can clean it up, right? One way is we can write this setup and clean up part into this particular test case. Now suppose each test case need this particular data setup and clean up part, right? So if we will write the same thing again and again, we are making duplicate code. So how we can avoid that? So for that purpose, what we can do is we can move the setup part into the before hook. So before hook will execute before execution of each test case, and we can move the cleanup part to the after hook that will execute after execution of each test case. So this is how we can use the concept of hooks. So like other test automation framework, Playwright also offers different type of hooks that we can use for the setup and tear down phases. So Playwright offers before all, before each, after all. Hooks in Playwright can be defined at test file level, which would be available to all the test cases of that particular file. And hooks can be defined at the group level, and it would be available or applicable to all the test cases of that particular group. However, if we want to use hooks for different test files, we'll have to use the concept of fixtures that we will be talking about later on, right? Talking about purpose of different hooks in Playwright. So in Playwright, we have before all that run before all the test cases, but once per worker. And after all, run after execution of all test cases, but once per worker. I'll talk about this worker concept soon. Talking about before each. So before each will execute before execution of each test case, and after each will execute after execution of each test case, right? So now we have understood the purpose of these hooks. Let us understand the same by the practical demonstration. For that purpose, first of all, we will be defining hooks at the test file level and understand the behavior. I'm navigating to Visual Studio Code. Under test section, I'm going to create a separate file, and let us give it name hooks test file .spec.ts. And I'm going to use same set of test cases that we have discussed earlier in the previous video. Let me copy and paste and let me explain you. First test case is about launching internet UI application, then locating checkboxes page and verifying whether this particular checkboxes element is visible or not. Let me show you from the website. So this is the website. So we are launching it, then locating checkboxes link and verifying whether this is visible or not. Talking about second test case, this is about launching this particular internet UI application, locating checkboxes page, performing link, performing a click operation to navigate to checkboxes page. Then after, what we are doing is we are locating both the checkboxes using this particular XPath, and using zeroth index, we are pointing to first checkbox, performing a check operation and verifying whether this is checked or not. Talking about third test case, this is about launching the application, again locating checkboxes element, performing click operation to navigate to checkboxes page, then locating both the checkboxes using this particular XPath and using first index pointing to the second checkbox and performing uncheck operation, and at last verifying whether this particular second checkbox is unchecked or not, right? So if you would notice, one thing is common across all three test cases, right? That is page.goto, which is about launching the application. So what we can do is we can use test.before each, right? So we can do like this. Okay. So for before each, if you would notice, there are two methods. In one, we can directly use the function. In second, we can provide the name of the hook. Let us provide the name, right? And let us call it as launch application. And then let us create the function. Okay. And let me copy this particular line of code and put it here, right? So as we are using async operation, let us make this function as async right? And as we need page, so let us provide page fixer here. Okay. So now what we can do is we can comment this particular line of code from each test cases. Let us add another line for the readability, a print statement. Let me type console.log, which is similar to system.out.println in Java. And let us give it thing I'm in before each. So when we will execute the test cases, we would be able to notice it 3 times because we are executing 3 test cases, right? So now to execute these test cases, what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify one part in playwright.config.ts. So by default, when the framework is set up, the workers for the local execution are set up as undefined, meaning as many test cases will be running in parallel, and depending on the CPU core, those many workers would be created, but I'm keeping it one because I want to demonstrate you some part that I'll be talking about later in this particular video, right? So now to execute this particular test case, let me copy this particular file name, right click on the project and open an integrated terminal and type in command npx playwright test and the file name. So you would see test cases will run fine, running 3 test cases using one worker, right? So test cases will execute one after another because we are using the concept of one worker. Okay, so if you would notice, all 3 test cases are passed, right? Also, you would notice that I'm in before each is executed 3 times, once before every test case, right? Similarly, we can use the concept of after each, right? So if we have some cleanup part, we can keep that into after each section, right? After each, right? And let us give it name cleanup. And we don't need launching application. Let us simply give after each. So now let me run this particular test cases. So it will run 3 test cases using one worker. So let it execute and we will validate the console log. Okay. So if I show you the console log, before each is executed for this particular test case, then after each is executed after execution of test case. Then for the second test case also, before each is executed, before execution of each test case, and after each is executed, likewise for the third test case as well, right? So this is how before each and after each can be utilized to execute the test case conditions before and after execution of each test case, right? So far, we have executed our test cases using one worker, and as a result, before all is executing once and after all is executing once, right? So if I come back to this particular slide where we talked about that before all run before all the test cases but once per worker, and after all execute after execution of all test cases but once per worker. So this is the time to understand this particular concept, right? For that purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make modification in this particular playwright.config.ts, and for local execution I'm going to make workers as undefined. So now depending on how many test cases we are running and the CPU core, those many workers are created. So as in this particular file, we have 3 test cases that we have talked about. And if I show you my CPU core, so this is how we can check CPU core. So in my case, CPU core is 4. So it can easily create 3 test cases, meaning it can create 3 workers. And Playwright test cases are designed in such a way that if there would be 3 workers, they would be 3 separate suite and they won't be interfering with each other, right? So if I execute the test cases now, you would see that 3 test cases are executed using 3 workers, And these three workers are three separate processes. They will invoke their own before all and they will invoke their own after all. So let it execute and I'll show you the console. Okay. So if you would notice that I'm connecting to DB is executed 3 times, which is before all condition. This is happening because we are executing test cases in 3 separate workers. So these are like 3 separate containers which won't be interfering with each other. Talking about before each and after each, they will behave as it is. And talking about after all, that will also execute 3 times, once per worker, right? So this is how it works, right? Now, next thing is how to use hooks at the group level. Hooks defined at the test level are applicable to all the test cases of that particular file, and hooks defined at the group level would be applicable to all the test cases of that particular group, right? So in order to demonstrate this, let me create a separate file and give it name hooks group.spec.ts, right? And let us copy the same test cases. And this time what we are going to do is we are going to create 2 groups, right? Let us create first group. In order to understand like how to create groups, I have covered a video. You can check out the same in icon, right? But this is how we can create the group, right? Okay. So let us provide the name as well, right? Let us give it name main page. Similarly, let us create another group for checkboxes test case and give it name checkboxes page and create function and move both the test cases under this particular group. Okay. And let us uncomment this particular line, right? As we are talking about hooks at the group level, suppose we want to use hooks for this particular group, right? The second group. Let us copy all these hooks and let us not apply at the test level, right? And let us apply at the group level, right? So if you would notice that these 3 lines, right? Launching the application, locating checkboxes, clicking on checkbox link is common across these 2 test cases, right? Let me uncomment this slide, right? So what we can do is we can copy this and comment this section now, right? And let us move this section to this particular before each. Okay. So now when we will execute test cases of this particular group, what will happen is before each will be executed before execution of each of these test cases, and test case will work fine, right? Let us run the test cases. How to run test cases of a group? We can copy the name of the group, right? Right click on the project, open in integrated terminal, npx playwright test -g -g is for grep, right? So this is how we can execute. So as we have 2 test cases, so it is using 2 workers, and we would see before all will be invoked 2 times. Likewise, after all will also be invoked 2 times, and these test cases will work fine, right? So you will notice test cases are running fine, right? So this is how we can use hooks at the group level. To post verify, we can try to execute test cases of main page. In this case, we won't see this console log because these hooks are supposed to work for this particular group, right? So to cross verify, let me replace the group name here in this particular command and run this. So in this case, it has used only 1 worker, right? And you would notice there won't be any console.log because we haven't used any hook for this particular test case, right? So this is how we can define hooks at the group level, right? Now, the next thing that comes to our mind is, can we use hooks at both the levels? So the answer is yes. In case we want to apply the hooks to all the test cases, then we will be defining the hooks at the test file level. And in case we want to specify it for a particular group, then we will be defining it inside the test.describe for that particular group. Now let us jump on to practical demonstration. For that purpose, I'm going to create a file and let us give it name hooks both level dot spec.ts, right? And let us copy hooks group.spec.ts content here and paste it here, right? Now, first thing that I will do is let us move before all and after all outside this particular group to make it global so that it would be applicable to all the test cases irrespective of whether they belong to a particular group or they are global test cases, right? So this is one thing. Also, you would notice one thing in these test cases of these two groups that await page.go to is common, right? So what we can do is we can create a test dot before each at the global level as well, right? And let us give it name outside before each, okay? And then let us create the function, right? And as we are going to move this line here, let us first move this line, then let us make this function as async because we are using await, right? And as we are interacting with the page, right, meaning the playwright operations, so we need page fixture, right? Now what we can do is we can comment this line from this particular test case and we can comment this line from this particular before each of this particular group. So when we will execute test cases of this particular group, what will happen is this before all will execute for all the test cases and after all will execute for all the test cases, right? Similarly, this before each would be applicable to all the test cases. However, this before each of this particular group would be applicable to the test cases of this particular group, right? So let us try to run and understand. So 3 test cases are running in 3 separate workers, meaning there would be 3 processes and each would be invoking its own before all and would be invoking its own after all. That's why we would see 3 before all invocation and 3 after all invocation, right? So let us understand the console, right? I'm connecting to DB, I'm connecting to DB. This is because we have 3 separate workers, right? I'm in before each, I'm in before each, right? So where was I'm in before each? So this before each, right? I'm in before each, right? So this is executing for the test cases of this particular group, right? So that these are the test cases of this particular checkboxes page group, right? So if you would notice checkboxes page, validating checking first checkbox, validating unchecking second checkbox, right? Similarly, if you would notice I'm in after each, this also execute for checkboxes page group, right? So this is how the hooks behaves. If they are defined at the global level, they would be applicable to all the test cases, and if they would be defined at the group level, they would be available to that particular group, right? At last, I want to talk about some of the key point around hooks. So we should use before each and after each for test isolation purpose and to avoid duplicacy for the repeatable setup, as like we discussed that we used for the launching of application, which was a common step. Then before all and after all should be used for expensive operations like connecting to DB, because once the connection is established, each test case can use that particular connection, and at last and after all, we can terminate that particular connection. Hooks scope in Playwright is either at test level or at group level. This is what we discussed. So multiple before all as well as multiple after all can be created, but they will execute in sequence. Similarly, multiple before each as well as multiple after each can be created. They will also execute in sequence, whatever is defined in the file. Hooks defined at test level, right? Whatever the hooks that are defined at the test level, they will be available to all the test cases irrespective of whether they belong to a particular group or they don't belong, right? And hooks can be combined at test level as well as group level. This is what we just discussed. So this is what I wanted to cover, guys, as part of the current discussion. Thank you for watching. I would request you to please like, share and subscribe. Thank you once again.